Our problem is one size fits all. Everybody must be 120 by 80. And we call this as, in physiology, we call it as normal. Is there a definition of normal? This is average. There's a big difference between normal and average. I'll give you an example for the younger generation. Average Indian height is male height is 5.4 plus minus 2 inches. Gaussian curve, mean plus 2 standard deviation, all the things that you write for all papers. Now imagine Amitabh Bachchan comes for a checkup. He's absolutely abnormal, 6.2. Our treatment is cut his leg, make him 5.6. Don't laugh, that's what we are doing in hypertension and diabetes also. I can tell you, your first director here, I've been seeing him for 45 years. His blood pressure is always 90 by 40. So he'll come and say, Endu cheya. I told him, don't cheya anything, you will be there forever. You will never die. This is the problem. So, Jaya Bachchan comes for a checkup. 4.6. She is the ideal candidate for transplanting that leg because she'll also become 5.6. This is exactly what you and I do in our science, my dear friends. You may laugh today, but go home and seriously think about it tonight. You will not get sleep. Hippocrates wrote, not today, disease is not an entity. Remember that? But a fluctuating condition of the patient's body, a battle between substance disease and the natural self-healing tendency of the body. What a fascinating 21st century definition of disease. Today we know the diseases that we teach our students, heart disease, lung disease, head disease, leg disease, has gone out of date, and the treatment of that is either under treatment, over treatment, or mistreatment. You don't believe me because no, Indians, that too I am from a village. I'll give you an American reference. Anyone pencil, pen? The end of the disease era. The article's name is End of the Diseased Era. The author is Mary Tinnetti, Tinnetti, Young man is writing there. And of course, William Stead, her assistant. Two of them wrote. They are from Yale, not from ordinary university, Yale University. And this is in the American Journal of Medicine, 2004. Somebody is writing. Write down, volume 116 and page 179. She shows there that we have been killing people left, right, and center by treating them for these things. Lowering somebody's blood pressure, doing some bypass surgery, doing some, angioplasty, that too, blasting the endothelium. You are living here because of the endothelium. Endothelial relaxing factor, EDRF, nitric oxide. And you damage it, no EDRF. So only EDCF, it will contract. But who bothers? We are all lost in reductionist science. Statistical science and not a hard science. What you and I are doing. Reductionist treats the human body as mechanical machine run by its electrobiochemistry. You talk to a biochemist, he thinks only biochemistry runs the whole world. Quick fix methods for damage control. Somebody's potassium is 4.3, 3.3, immediately you give potassium. Little do we know that what is called transmutation, biological transmutation. If your body really needs potassium, it can convert sodium into potassium. Fascinating thing. It's called biological transmutation, a science which developed enormously in Russia, but kept out of the American orbit because they didn't want this science because there is no business in it. Even today, we don't know how to treat a patient in the intensive care unit. Supposing he has lost blood, point, drop by drop, you replace it, he'll die. Because there is what is called auto-transfusion and auto-infusion in the body, depending on the need. There are about 500 cc of blood in the pelvis. And when somebody meets with an accident and bottle of blood gone, that blood will get into the circulation. It gets pumped back. It is in that pool. This body, human body, if you are 60 kilograms body, you have got about 8 lakhs kilometers of capillaries. They hold so much of blood. We'll come to that later. Now, the latest science says E is equal to M. So E is equal to mc squared is all gone, long gone, but we still teach that in our schools. This has come in 1925, but refined now by a man called Hans Peter Dürr, the double Nobel laureate, who is the emeritus director of Max Planck Institute. I'll show him to you. He is the co-editor-in-chief of our journal. And Hans calls this as a duality, a duality. That means there is no two things. Matter is energy, energy is matter. You have some simple article he has written for you to read. Don't read all that physics. Write down. Matter is not made out of matter. Matter is not made out of matter. This is the Google. His name is Hans, H-A-N-S, Peter, P-E-T-R, Dürr, D-U-R-R. And this article, he tells you that I am a child playing with small things in the periphery, calling it a duality. The Indian sages called it as Advaita, Sat, Sat. And here is a German who doesn't even know English properly, quotes Sanskrit. You go to his laboratory, he has got all the scriptures, Indian scriptures. And he quotes the Upanishads that said what energy and matter is. Bahir antas chabhutanam. It is outside and inside of everything. Charam, it's moving. But acharam, you look solid, nothing solid, you are moving. You are jumping leptocons bit. Charam acharamevate. Sukshmavate tavidneyam. It is so subtle, no microscope, no endoscope, no telescope can understand that. Only mindoscope can understand that. We don't have it. And what does it say? Durastam. You don't know? You don't know. Cha, aniketa cha. When you know, it is very close. Tat, tat, sat. Matter and energy. Human body works as a whole. Please remember this one sentence. Mug it up. Remug it up. Human body works as a whole. Heart doesn't work in isolation. So heart failure is not a disease of cardiology. Heart disease is a physiology. Heart disease has got so many problems. Starting from the muscle, to the brain, to the heart, to the lungs. But the key is held in the muscle. Chronic heart failure, the key is held in the muscle. And it's the muscle that gives you what you want to do. Human body is but a bundle of energy. Human body is but a bundle of energy. Why human body? The whole universe is immaterial. Human body is a material. This fellow he didn't get his Nobel Prize, but he's tipped for that. Richard Conn Henry is a professor of physics in Johns Hopkins. And he wrote this. The universe is immaterial, mental and spiritual, live and enjoy. I have slightly changed it. Human body is immaterial, mental and spiritual, live and enjoy. So, this human body is a wisdom, enormous wisdom. Many times we feel this patient should die, according to our textbook. But next day you see him, he is smiling in the ward, and third day is walking out. Many times these patients will probably outlive the doctor and go for the funeral also. All this is possible because you can't predict the future, there's no future. Modern medical science has no place for keeping man either healthy or alive. Did you read that? Modern medicine has no place to either keep man healthy or alive. Need for a new science of man. But I will give you one small example. Stem cell. I met somebody who said, I'm in genetics, big genetics. What is genetics? Genes have nothing. How many genes do you have in the chromosome? 23,000 to 25,000. But do you know how many germ genes you have? 2.5 trillion. In a metagenome, you have 2.5 trillion genes. So you manipulate these 23,000 genes and then say, I'm producing a stem cell and give it inside, it will go to do something else because the genes don't have no power. Gene expression, the protein expression, which is called gene penetrance, depends on the environment. And what